Today I will represent about Taylor Swift, the Era Tour 2023-2024 post-concert phenomenon. Meet up team member me, Phó Tuan Cuong, Minh, and Hoang Hong Anh. Taylor Swift is a globally renowned American singer-songwriter known for her storytelling and strong connection with fans. Since her debut in 2006, she has become one of the most influential figures in contemporary music, with her albums and tour consistently breaking records worldwide. In 2023, Swiss launched the Eras Tour, a global concert series celebrating her musical journey across 10 albums. Each represents a distinct era of her career. Spanning over 2 years and multiple continents, the tour attracted millions of fans and generated immense online engagement. Beyond its record-breaking revenue, the Eras Tour became a cultural phenomenon that shaped conversation across social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, and TikTok.
This research focuses on examining the raw data of online engagement and performing a sentiment analysis, identifying the dominant themes in global fan discussion, comparing regional differences in fan reaction. Significant offer insight into global fan cultural and behavior, effectiveness of digital marketing in music events, and the growing role of social media in shaping global entertainment experience.
To guide our study, we first developed a set of research questions that focus on understanding global fan engagement and sentiment toward the Eras Tour across different regions and social media platforms. The first question that Google search volume the Eras Tour indicates that global fan interest remained high even after the concert end. This helped us understand whether the excitement continued after the live events, showing the lasting digital impact of the tour. The second question focused on the geography. Which country showed the highest search interest for Eras Tour during the post-concert period? This allows us to compare international fan engagement and identify where global interest was most concentrated. The third question looked at the sentiment difference. How the audience sentiment toward the Era Tour differed between it and TikTok during the post-concert period. This gives insight into how fan reaction varied across platforms, since TikTok tends to focus on emotional and creative content, while it is more conventional and news-based. And finally, our fourth question examine engagement pattern. How did engagement level differ across the three main hashtags? Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, and Swiftie on TikTok and X. This question help us identify which hashtag drove the most activity and community interaction online. Next, we will look at the related work highlighting key findings from past research on fan engagement, media coverage, emotional impact, and the cultural impact of Taylor Swift tour. The Era Tour, launched in March 2023, became a massive global cultural moment that united millions of fans worldwide. Swifties shared their emotion, outfits, and concert experience on platforms like X, TikTok and Instagram, helping the tour dominate social media conversation. Hashtags such as the Eras Tour fuel one of the largest online fan community ever recorded. Studies have shown that Taylor Swift fandom is among the most active and connected in the world, showing how powerful online fan engagement can be. Beyond the excitement, the Eras Tour had a major economic and cultural impact. It generated billions of dollars in tourism revenue across the US, Asia Pacific, Latin America. As fans travel international to attend to the concerts, cities like Singapore and Sydney became global trends through fan storytelling posts, showing how music events can strengthen both local culture and the global creative economy. However, not everything went smoothly. The Ticketmaster pre-sale failure in 2022 caused massive backlash online. Hashtags like Ticketmaster scandal and Justice for Sweetie reflected widespread frustration. Fans used social media as a form of a digital protest, showing how online community today can demand fairness and accountability in entertainment. Global media outlets such as Billboard, The Guardian, and Rolling Stone keep the tour in the spotlight. At the same time, influencers and fan accounts like Taylor Nation 13 and The Script Society help maintain the hype by sharing concert updates and behind-the-scenes content. This shows how traditional media and social media influencers work together to sustain excitement and engagement worldwide. And finally, emotionally, many fans describe the tour as life training and even therapeutic. But after the concert ends, some fans report post depression, a feeling of emptiness once the excitement was over. Researchers explain this as part of parasocial relationship where fans form deep emotional connection with celebrities, influencing both happiness and mental well-being.
To answer our research questions, we design a robust methodology. We employ a mixed quantitative and qualitative approach, which we executed in three distinct phases. Phase 1 was data collections. We gathered Google Trends data for the short-term Eras tour for a period extending well into the post-concert phase, from December 2023 to August 2025. We simultaneously collected a large data set of public posts from TikTok and X that use our three target hashtags. Phase 2 was data analysis. Here, we perform a geographical analysis to map global interest, a sentiment analysis to classify the emotional tone of posts, and a cross-platform comparison to measure engagement metrics like likes and shares. Phase 3 was data visualizations. To make our findings understandable, we used line charts to show trends over time, stack bar charts to compare categories, and geographical maps to visualize global data distributions. So all of these methodology bring us to our results and discussions. Our first questions ask if fan interests remain high after the concerts. This Google Trends chart is quite revealing. We see the expected massive peak in interest during the tour's final leg in late 2024, followed by a precipitous drop. But the key insight here is not the drop, but what happened next. Interest does not fall to the zero. It stabilized at a new, lower baseline that remained consistent throughout 2025. Those smaller peaks that you see correspond to other related events like album news or the streaming release of the concert film. This tells us that the tour transformed from an acute event-driven interest into a chronic, sustained level of engagement in the public consciousness. The phenomenon has a long tail. Our second question focuses on geography. Where did this sustained interest burn brightest? The data shows the top 5 countries for the short interest were Canada, the United States, Australia, and United Kingdom, and Ireland. This is significant because these all English-speaking nations where Taylor Swift had a deep and long-established fan base. It reflects regions where the tour had major stops and generated immense media coverage. This isn't just a measure of passive fandom, it's a measure of active curiosity, people actively seeking out information, which reinforces the tour's lasting cultural relevance in this key market.
Okay, thank you, Minh, for your sharing. So now let's move on to the next question. How did engagement level differ across the three main hashtags Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, and Swifties on TikTok and X. Before that, we used Octoparse to crawl all the data. We have found around 300 data from our dataset from X, former Twitter, and TikTok. So here we analyze how different fan hashtag performed across TikTok and X to understand which conversion teams remain most active after the tour. The bar chart shows that hashtag Eras Tour recorded the highest total engagement, combining likes, share, and comments across both platforms. This hashtag continued to dominate even months after the concert ended, mainly driven by fans' edit and recap videos. In contrast, Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour hashtag, performed strongly during the live event but dropped afterward, showing that it was used mostly for official concert content. Interestingly, Swifties remained steady over time, reflecting how the fandom itself, rather than the tour, continued to generate consistent engagement. Overall, this pattern indicates that online discussions shift from event-based posts to more community-driven fan interaction. In other words, the Eras Tour may have ended, but the hashtag Eras Tour has become part of a long-term fandom culture. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question is, how does audience sentiment toward the Eras Tour differ between TikTok and X during the post-concert period? For this question, we wanted to see how the audience sentiment differ between TikTok and X during the post-concert period. To measure sentiment objectively, we classified posts based on their engagement level. Adding likes, comment, and share or retweets together, posts with more than 50,000 interactions were labeled positive, between 50,000 and 20,000 as neutral, and below 20,000 as negative. When we visualize this in Power BI, we found a clear difference between the two platforms. On TikTok, over 65% of posts were classified as positive, showing that fans continue to celebrate the Eras Tour through nostalgic edits, song mashup, and highlights video. On X, sentiment was more evenly distributed, roughly 50% positive, 35% neutral, and 15% negative, suggesting that users there engage in more critical discussion, debate, or reflection about the tour. This contrast shows how platform culture shape emotion expression. TikTok acts as a visual space for fandom appreciation, while X functions as a discussion forum with diverse opinions. Together, these findings reinforce that the Eras Tour continues to live on through digital fan emotion even long after the final concert.
In conclusion, Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour 2023-2024 evolved into a global digital phenomenon that refined fan engagement. This study examined post-concert activity on TikTok and X, revealing sustained global interest on regional difference in sentiment and participation. Countries such as the US, Brazil, Singapore, and Australia show the highest engagement. TikTok fostered creative emotional expression, while X encouraged discussion and reflection. Themes shift from excitement to nostalgia and post-era depression. After the concert, overall the Eras Tour demonstrates how modern fandom extends beyond live events, forming lasting online communities and cultural impact long after the music stops. And here's our reference, the information that we have found. Thank you everyone for listening to our group presentation.